All right, so I'm Catherine Hurst, and I'm doing Light Awake, and I'm a local doctor, and I've been here since 2003 in the area from Southern California, believe it or not, and I stayed. I like the area, I like the opportunities, and I like that the certain things about this area that you don't get in Southern California. And Light Awake is a app that turns your smartphone into an alarm clock, but uses light to help you wake up. I'm actually a practicing physician. I'm board certified in family medicine. I went to the Carver College of Medicine and also went to residency in Cedar Rapids. And I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to be in the rural ERs at 6 a.m. So I always wake up before the sun is up. So I need an alarm clock that would wake me up, be effective, and not disturb my household. All right.
It's time to change the way you wake up. Sound-based alarm clocks are centuries old. They can be loud, waking people who are still sleeping and annoying others. Traditional alarm clocks can also leave users in the sleep cycle feeling tired and drowsy. Now, there's a better way to rise and shine.
All right. So that video was kind of a short introduction about what Light Awake is and what I'm hoping to accomplish with it.
It's time to change the way you wake.
Kind of replacing the traditional alarm clock. So this is what it is, and it's currently in its MVP form. It's on both stores, and it turns your uses the LED light to pulsate light, and it also uses the screen as a light source. So you set it and go to sleep, and it wakes up and it has that light. Also, there's audio available, but with the audio, I found that there's an opportunity to do something more with the audio than is currently available. There can be audio with frequencies that people with hearing impairment can hear better. And there can also be audio that is specific to a person's personal interest or liking, such as we can have poetry, short stories, or music that is soothing and inspirational for certain wake-up days. Also, with this, since it's on a network and pretty much everybody has a smartphone, there's the possibility of a group wake-up call, which is something I've never heard of, but I think some people would be interested. People such as CrossFitters or sports team fans, maybe they would subscribe to a group wake-up call on game days or certain days where they're having competitions. So this is an opportunity, since we're putting the alarm clock out there on the network, to improve it and make the experience better. So how did I get to this point? Well, I was going into rural medicine was always my professional goal. So I was in Storm Lake, Iowa, and I lived in a nursing home, and there was a storm on the lake, and there was bright lightning that woke me up from sleep. And when I woke up, I wasn't drowsy. I wasn't groggy. I was alert and oriented, just woke right up. And I wondered, what happened to myself? So kind of used the University of Library resources and took a look about what exactly happened there. Why did that bright source of lightning just wake me right up? This is what I found. The suprachiasmatic nucleus is a part of the brain that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. And it even has a specific way that the light goes in through your eyes and goes in through something called a retinohypothalamic tract. And it stimulates your pineal gland to decrease melatonin. And it also has other activities where it changes your brain and your body to transition from a sleep to an awake cycle. Now, people have asked me, does the light go through your eyes, through your eyelids? Yes, it does. And there is a specific part of the brain and the eyes that are specifically made to receive the light, and it's their job to do so. Kind of like your ears. You have hearing in your ears, but you also have balance in the vestibular system. It has two jobs, and it has a separate system for that. And people who are blind has the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and all mammals have it. So it's where your sleep wake cycles are housed, and it's the special anatomy and physiology for it. The problem, and it's light, and that's probably not surprising. Why we don't use light to wake up more often, I don't know why. There are some resources out there, but Light Awake very much so focuses on this system to wake people up in a more effective, pleasant manner. So there's melatonin. A lot when I do this live, I ask people who uses melatonin to go to sleep, and a lot of people do, and a lot of people are familiar with it. It's a hormone. You can take it over the counter, and it will help you go to sleep. So if you have darkness, that will stimulate melatonin. Now, a lot has been said about blue light. A lot of people have blue light filters on their smartphones, including me. And what they're saying is that blue light will not allow melatonin levels to rise up and make you go to sleep. So that's why you filter it out. So that's melatonin in a nutshell. Now you can take it over the counter, but a lot of sleep people would say what you need to do is just use good sleep hygiene. If you can't fall asleep, which means a dark, cool room with no sound and no devices. That's difficult to do nowadays because I'm on my phone and on my iPad and on the television right until I go to sleep. But it could decrease your ability to fall asleep and into a healthy REM sleep because of melatonin and some other hormones. All right, so sound. So this is, how I woke up and before I thought about Light Awake. I set an alarm and there's an audio sound. Now this is the part of your brain that deals with audio, your primary auditory cortex. It goes in through your ear and it travels and it crosses over, and that's fine. But as you can tell, if you look at the brain, that has nowhere housed or has anything to do with the other system that deals with your sleep-wake cycles. So in Light Awake, I would say the sound is an opportunity to do what it's supposed to do, which is to transmit information. So a lot of people, if you're sound asleep and you want to hear some audio, instead of counting on this audio to wake you up, you can count on the audio to give you information, the current time, the current weather, or what you're doing for that day. So that's what audio options that we can have and offer on Light Awake that I think would be helpful when people wake up. And knowing that the audio that we offer will not actually stimulate your sleep-wake cycle. It will just actually give you some information for the morning and possibly inspiration. Also, I have like kind of a philosophy of life and philosophy of person, and Iowa City is a good place for it. I think art makes life better, and we should incorporate it more into everyday life. The way that I see art is usually just going to a museum, or I enjoy some poetry. It's because an event happened, good or bad, that someone had shared with you to either make you feel better or to help you celebrate. And I'm like, every day is an opportunity to share art. So this is something that we can share with users. It's on their wake up screen. They can wake up to a nice piece of art, a nice audio, and start their day. Also, it's an opportunity if I wanted to send a wake up call to somebody and it was an event, a birthday, or they had a big day that day, I could kind of make them a very nice wake up call with art embedded in it and embedded in their wake up experience. Someone told me the poetry of Walt Whitman is actually pretty good. It's on the, it's open source now, so we could use it and make an audio file of it and send it to them for their wake up call, a poem. Also, there's tons of visual art that we can send, and it's on the wake up screen. So it's an opportunity. This is a great piece of art, an artist I met in Maquoketa, Iowa. And those people that's George Washington Carver, and that's George A. Wallace, and they're Iowa State. And it's an artist depiction of their work. And I just think it's wonderful. And art like this shouldn't just be hanging in a corridor or a conference room. It should be shared. And I just think this is wonderful. And it's an Iowa artist. So something like this is what I would share and offer for the wake up experience. So I've went through enough training of entrepreneurship to know that our value proposition is what I'm selling and what the difference I need to make. And time is one of those things that I think that I can help people with if we use Light Awake versus the traditional. If you snooze for 30 minutes a day, for 30 minutes a day over a year, that's 19 business days that you lose. And that's, that's relatively a lot of time. You would like to have 19 days back in your life in a year. I'm sure a lot of people would. Also, studies have proven that people who wake up earlier are healthier, more successful at work, and students have a higher GPA. Waking up early makes you a more effective and healthier person overall. And even if you have the day off and you want to have more effective use of your time, if you wake up earlier, you can do that. Also, you get healthier sleep when you wake up earlier because you want to go to, at the time when you want to go to sleep, you're actually have the natural urges to do so because you woke up earlier. So you're going to need to have your sleep, and it's going to be healthier sleep and more REM sleep. And you get 4 or 5 cycles of that, which would be great. So that's our value proposition. You get time, you're healthier. And also, this alarm clock has the capability to be absolutely silent or very little to no noise. You can decrease, if I have to get up at 4:30 and my husband doesn't, he doesn't need to hear my alarm or be annoyed by it, which was a very big issue before I became conscious of this. When my alarm clock would go off very early and it would be his day off. He did not like that. So my hypothesis was a very long time ago was that I could create a business out of this. I could offer somebody, I have a solution to a problem. And I feel that there's been enough thought behind it and there can be a lot of development and we can improve it to create a business. So that's my hypothesis. To test my hypothesis, I've done alpha and beta testing of the minimal viable product. And I have it out there on both app stores. So there you guys go. You can download that and go to lightawake.biz and download the app and read all about Light Awake. If we were at a live event, I'd pass you out a flyer with these QR codes, which are completely awesome. So have you guys take a look at that if possible, and just go to the website. It's pretty easy. And also if you'd like to make comments or contact me, let me know. And this is kind of the vertical targets that we're thinking of and our target markets, shift workers, families with light sleepers or children, people with hearing loss. To me, that's a very natural target market because the audio is actually not working for them and they would benefit greatly from something that has light added to it or is an exclusive stimuli for waking up. Teenagers and college students. So if you're in a dorm and you want to wake up early and not disturb the whole dorm, I think Light Awake has some options for you. And sleep partners with different schedules. I've been there. I'm still there. And roommates in close quarters, right? Just like the teenagers and college students, we don't want to wake up the whole community with our alarm clock. And that has been issues. A lot of people have told me a lot of interesting stories about that. Okay. All right. So far, we have some pretty good ratings on our MVP. It's something pretty happy about, and I take all the feedback very, very seriously and try to implement it. I did have a person that said they love the app, but they would like to hear a car alarm. And I thought, well, that's very interesting. Maybe I'll have that on the in-app store, a car alarm sound, but I would never guess anyone would want to wake up to a car alarm, but okay. And feedback is the breakfast of champions. And so I did do beta testing, a couple of rounds, and tried to ask what people would like in a wake-up experience. So the first thing I asked is, did the alarm clock you use wake up properly? And they said yes. The first few beta testers, it didn't work well because they used the phone after they set the alarm. And so we had to kind of stop testing for a moment and then tell users that setting the phone, you cannot touch the phone after you use it because it actually runs in the background. And that's something we're looking as a workaround and something to improve in next versions, because people, you set your alarm, you still want to use your phone, but at this point, that's not an option. Also, what do people want besides waking up in the first thing in the morning? So, with the audio features, we asked what would be helpful. And here is a word salad type of thing. And it's saying speeches, commute, weather is the big one, time, temperatures, a monologue, uh, poems. Some people said that they would pay for a haiku every day, a new one. I'll got to find some haikus. And it seems to me the thing that really people want is current weather. Depending on where you live, like if you're from Southern California, I would want traffic and commute because the weather's always the same in Southern California. Those are the type of things we can have users get customized, and they could wake up to the audio of it or actually have it on their screen, what the current weather is, what their commute is. All right. And then these are the people who, when I beta tested, who could use this type of alarm clock. So a firefighter, EMS, athletes, college students, fitness people, CrossFit enthusiasts, right? CrossFitter, an atheist, and a vegan walk into a bar. And you know that because they all tell you. So CrossFitters are extremely passionate, and I think they might be a good target market for some customized wake-up calls. People who are involved in fitness as well, but that's a wide range, would I think they would benefit also from some customized wake-up calls. All right, so can this make money? We did use a Strategizer, which is the business model canvas, which is what I have in conjunction. I still have my old business plan, Paul Heath, but I also have a business model canvas, and we have potential to make money eventually. And we can see how we can make it and make revenue from it. A subscription-based model, and also you add on, and then also you can pair a smart bulb with it. On a business-to-business model, I would eventually like to be able to offer hotels customized wake-up calls, other than a phone call or other than the old style alarm clock that they have, because I think we can make it a good experience for users. So if you're for a guest of a hotel, I should say. So a lot of hotels focus on the shower experience, focus on the bedding, focus on the service, but there's not really anyone focusing on how you wake up. And so I'm thinking we can make a very good experience for people or a group of people, I would say. And also, a lot of people tell me the military could use this. It has no sound and it's highly customizable. So that would be also another thing that I would be interested in pursuing, that I think that we could offer them something that's not there. All right, this is our team. Probably some of you guys know these people. We're local. And I've used a lot of resources here. I went to venture school in 2015. And I also did a business plan type of class at University of Iowa. And it's all Iowa born, Iowa done. All right, so it's a group collaboration and it's based off of feedback. And I think that we have a lot of talent in this area. There's a lot of engineers and project managers in Lynn County, where I did residency. I'm told there's like an abnormally high percentage of engineers in that area. And Johnson County has a lot of doctors. I can tell you that. Every one of my neighbors is a doctor or a scientist. So I think we can get together and make a pretty cool project. Also, there's a lot of artists in this area. And my personal philosophy is give them art. I think even people who you wouldn't think would appreciate a poem, they would appreciate a poem if you give it to them in the right setting and in the right type of atmosphere. So I think that it has a lot of potential, and I think Light Awake has something for everybody. And this is how you can help. You can download the app. You can email me. I love feedback. It is the Breakfast of Champions. Tell your friends and family about Light Awake and leave a positive review. And also visit the website and share. And you can go to the website and sign up for the newsletter, or go to the Wake Up Times. It's the Wake Up News and you can use Sleep and Wake News. You can use and look at that and share the articles. They're written by me. And in the future, I would love to have more people help write the articles and actually have the Wake Up Times channel, and share more information about inspiring people about waking up, about alarm clocks, sleep wake cycles. There's not a lot of people who are very interested in waking up, except for me. I'm finding, a lot of people don't put a lot of effort or thought into it, but I do. And I put a lot of thought into schedules, and I put a lot of thought into time management. I'm a working mom, so I need to do that. So that is Light Awake. So there you go. You can download that. And my presentation is done. Any questions or comments?
Well, I can kick things off. First off, great presentation, Kathy. I really enjoyed it, and I've already downloaded your app, and it's beautiful. Like it's really aesthetically pleasing. So I think you're killing it on that. And personally, I'm a big proponent of waking up with light. I have the Philips Hue bulb, and that has completely transformed my waking up experience. So I definitely understand the problem you're solving. I kind of wonder if you're maybe getting a little bit too broad with like the options that you're offering. It seems like you're trying to cater to maybe, too many people right now. So maybe consider that as you're moving forward. I really like the art aspect of it. I don't know if like CrossFitters are like going to be like, that's going to be the deal breaker for them. When I think of CrossFitters, I think, intense people that want simplicity, but I could be wrong. So maybe that's something to think about. So my question is, are there any competitors in the app space that you are competing against right now? I know obviously I use the Philips Hue bulb and that works really well for me, but are there other apps that are doing a similar thing using light and sounds?
Yes, I do see other competitors using similar things. But there is intellectual property that I have, and I haven't enforced it just yet because I'm starting out, but I could go to the app stores and kind of say, they're infringing on my intellectual property. But I had an intern look into it, and they don't really have a lot of kind of downloads. There's like a Sunrise one, and there's another one. There's a few that use the same philosophy, and there's people that use other things that make you solve a math problem or solve a puzzle before it turns off an awful sound. So yes, there are competitors out there.
Well, I would not like that math problem. So
yes, yeah.
Well, yeah. All right, thank you.
So I would have already downloaded this app mid-presentation, except you said I can't run any other apps after I turn it on. And because of the existential angst, I can't go to bed without sounds in the background. So I have to have that sleep. I'd love to have the app to wake up. Is there a possibility of like a Alexa skill that will turn on a separate light somewhere?
Well, this is the first version of it. There is going to be actually sound options to go to sleep in the next versions. I'm going to have an app store. It's going to be a separate store that you go on in the app and you go there. So that's when people can download all the options they would like. And so they can customize it. So there are people in our target market with tinnitus. So they would benefit from white noise or pink noise that kind of plays in the background and gradually goes away as they go to sleep. So yes. And yes, having it open in the background right now is an issue. I've been talking to developers about how to solve that problem. And eventually I'm not sure exactly how to do it, but we're going to have like Android, the Samsung, and actually Apple itself allow us in their system as to take over their alarm clock. And we don't know if we can do that. So yeah, I love to play with my phone up until I go to sleep. And then I set my alarm clock and then I don't touch it. Right. So
yeah. From a development standpoint, do you have any idea how difficult it is to do a Alexa skill?
I don't know what that is right now, but I'm having developers look into Google Now because Google Now knows my commute right now. It's an hour and 11 minutes, and it knows my traffic conditions. So Google Now can alert in the future Light Awake to wake you up according to your commute and your traffic conditions of that day. So that's what we're looking into. The home automation, and there's a lot of systems out there. There's Nest, there's Alexa, there's Google Home. I don't know how we're going to fit into that because we're focused in on kind of just one thing, waking up. And what we're focusing on is happenings outside your home, the weather conditions, your workout that you're going to go to, your schedule. So the Google Now, or what is also called Google Assistant, that type of thing is what we're looking to pair up with our network. And it's written on React Native, which I'm told by the Iowa City development team is really the gold standard of going for app development now, because it's on the network. And so it gives you a lot of power to do things in the future. But Alexa, I don't know how to do that. But personally, I don't like voice activated things. I dictate as a doctor into things, and I get dictations wrong all the time. And when you start dictating, and I have to go over them, and they're ridiculous on the chart, and I'm so embarrassed. But you even train your dictation to your voice, and it still gets it wrong. So I think this day and age, computers don't need to hear the human voice. They can digitally know information from other sources from Google, and they can get it right. So let's say I have to get up at 4:30, but there's foggy conditions. So in order to be at work on time, I need to wake up at 4:17 that day. Google Now would alert my Light Awake to kind of wake me up. And then on my phone, there would be my commute time and what's going on. Foggy conditions on I-80. You need to get up earlier. Or if there's a snowstorm or there's an ice storm, it would wake me up earlier. So that's the type of integration we're looking into.
Hi, Kathy, this is Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Enjoy the presentation. I've got a few questions. I'm a developer, so there's definitely a solution to that problem. You should not have to have that kind of locking out capability or requirement. It may actually be in part because using React Native, if you use the native APIs for the different devices, you get quite a bit more access to some of those different things. But we're getting a little bit deeper in the tech weeds. But definitely encourage your team to keep looking at some of those, or I'd even be happy to answer a few questions if they have some. To the business itself, what is your exit strategy? And it's a leading question because I have a couple ideas about that, but I'm curious what your thoughts are in terms of long term.
Oh, okay. So I see this as if, I have waved my magic wand and Light Awake is such a great, big, wonderful thing. It could merge on to another company. And also, I think the Wake Up Times has a life of in and of itself as a media type of presence in the future too. So my exit strategy would be to either have someone take over the running of this, or merge, or be bought by a larger organization.
Yeah, as you were talking, a couple of the things you're talking about, I think were fairly unique. I mean, there are, I think, dozens of alarm clock type apps, but a couple of things that you mentioned, I think, were really unique, and you obviously already started some intellectual property patent applications. So,
oh no, they're already there. They're not started. Yeah. They've granted.
So you've started that process, but what the couple that you mentioned, and I think Liz mentioned also, the group alarm check-in.
Yes.
My kids, for example, any class, people going on a trip together.
Yes.
Hey, is everybody up at 4:30? You have to check in. Otherwise, we can even automate a phone call to whoever is, the late riser, and make sure that they're up and going. That's Absolutely. A great idea. I've not seen that. Yeah. I like your idea of pulling in other data sources to customize, like traffic. You better wake up 15 minutes early because traffic is especially bad today. So those kind of things are, I think, what would really make it unique and valuable to a larger company that would just buy you for that technology Because it's, as I'm sure you're aware, it's very difficult to stand out in the app stores anyway, much less with an app which all the phones come with something already on them. So
Mhm.
it's a messaging problem to try to find those users that really want to wake up by light. And if it were me, I would focus on those couple unique features and really market them to other companies that could buy you out.
There are a couple questions in the chat too from Riley. I'm not sure if you saw them, Kathy.
Let me see. Stop share. Let me see. Where's the chat? This is still a little bit new for me.
I can read them off too if you're having trouble finding.
All right, I see that. What type of acoustic guitar is that in the background? Oh, well, that was just a cheap one, but I have, it's just a classical guitar. Waking up others. Why are you starting this company? Okay. Because I think there's a better way to wake up. Do you think the world would be better if wake up times are another major electronic media window? World would be better. I don't know about the world being better. They could wake up better and share information about waking up and inspiring other people. I'm not trying to solve the world's problems with the wake up times.
How many people have downloaded your app thus far, Kathy?
I have just about 1,000 users, about 700 on Android and about 300 on iOS.
That's pretty good.
Mhm.
Number.
Yes, and I got some pretty good feedback too. And we're in the process of making our in-app store for audio features and other features too.
So I have one question too. I've been in the travel and transportation industry for 20 years, and when I was driving buses, we would have to drive all different hours of the day. So our sleep schedules were sometimes we slept at day, nights, different
Yes.
things. How would this work for somebody that had to sleep on days to get up for an evening shift or an afternoon shift?
Yeah, so the circadian cycles, you'd sleep in a dark room, I would recommend. And then let's say that you slept, I do this, I sleep from like 7 till 3 or noon. So I would make everything dark where you are sleeping, turn off all the noise, and then set up light awake for 2:30 and expose yourself to light so your circadian cycles are back on. That's what I would do. And there may be a specific frequency of light that works better for your circadian cycle after doing a night shift. And that's also another thing I would like to do. I'd actually like to make a partnership or a relationship with universities and actually test which frequency of light wakes people up better, according to age and according to science. So it's a test. If I gave you blue light and I pulsate it, maybe that's better. Maybe if you need some yellow light, we can give that to you. Maybe you need an undulating light. It gets darker and it gets lighter, then it gets darker again, and then it goes up and down, kind of like a hill. So that's the type of light routine that will be unique with Light Awake. It's not just turning on the light, it's actually using all of the colors and frequencies and pulse rates to actually wake you up, to make your nervous system switch. And people don't realize this. When you're sleeping, your brain is just as active or even more active than when you're awake. It's just doing other things. So when you're sleeping, your brain is actually making memories. It's actually cleaning some house. It's actually doing some housekeeping that we don't do while we're awake. So that's why sleep is more important than eating and drinking. It's just as important because you can die without it. So yes, shift work. People who work night shifts. I work a 24-hour shift, so I cat nap in a doctor's room. And I go to bed, and then I wake up about 3, and I use my Light Awake to kind of reset my circadian cycles. So in short, that's what I would recommend for you to do. And in the long term, I'm going to do research on that, and also jet lag and shift workers, because shift working is actually somewhat dangerous to your health as well. And we need to look into why it is.
So it seems like, your value proposition is that you're really customized. So people can choose how they wake up, what's best for their schedule. I wonder, like, you know, if when you download the app and you first log in, if you would be able to have like a kind of like a quiz to like find your perfect wake up routine. You know, like I downloaded a meditation app and they're like, they ask you a bunch of questions to figure out like what your ideal program would be. I wonder if that would be an option for you. So people, it's like an experience. It's not just an app. It's like really customized to your own sleep patterns. People love that stuff, you know, like feeling like they're getting exactly what they need rather than what's made for the whole population, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
it
know
is.
like what's best for me to like wake up if I need blue light, white light, whatever, you know?
Yeah, I would agree with that too. It's a customizable wake up experience. Yeah.
Because then you could like answer people like David's questions in mass, you know, like you don't have to like have that one-on-one conversation of like, okay, I drive, you know, and not regular schedule. What do you recommend? You can already have that programmed as a part of the app.
Yeah, that's what I would love to do. And I'd love to have the science to be behind that. Like these studies have shown people who do shift work respond to this and give it to the users in a nice package that's easy to use. Yeah, that's actually a great foreseeable future. And also with group wake up calls, I think you can have a lot of fun with it. And I think people would love it. I would love to send a group wake up call to Kirkwood's women's basketball team because they won so many championships. And in it, I would ask some people, maybe like for their game day, they would have a speech by like some great leader like Vince Lombardi. I'm told there's a lot of Packer backers in one of the hospitals I work at. And supposedly there's all these wonderful speeches he's made. That's what I'm told. And so that's the type of thing I think Light Awake could offer somebody. It's like a Hallmark card for the modern era. And it's not just something that you get, it's, you know, it's specialized occasion. So that type of thing we would love to work with. And that's where the wake up times, it's kind of a creative effort. We would have to get some creatives to actually make customized wake up calls for people, for groups of people.
Yeah, I think that'd be good because, you know, I don't know if I'd want to wake up with like a poem, but someone might love that, you know,
Yes.
it's like really like built for you, you know, customized for you. I think that's a great idea.
Kathy, does it have a snooze feature or do you recommend a snooze feature for an alarm? And then how long does it take you to arouse you? Does it take like 5 minutes or 10 minutes?
Yes. Ideally with the proper light stimulus, you don't need a snooze anymore. But if you double tap the screen, it will snooze for 5 minutes because some people still would like it. But if I give you the proper light stimulus, you're up in like 5 minutes and very alert, not groggy, because your melatonin levels have decreased. That's the goal there, is to decrease that time where you just feel awful. And we had a neurologist tell us about how dangerous it is to practice medicine when you're sleepy and drowsy. It's like being drunk. So, you know, that type of drowsiness, you know, you fall asleep. It's dangerous to drive while you're drowsy and sleepy. It's dangerous to practice medicine. So that's the type of thing what we want to do. But I want people to get healthy sleep, a good straight 8 hours of sleep and get into those REM cycles. But when you wake up, I'd decrease that grogginess time and actually have no need for snooze in an ideal, perfect world.
So how are you getting the word out about this? What's your marketing like?
Okay, so we're starting slow. I have Josh McNamara and the EDC, we're helping out. So I'm doing a little bit of experiments with Facebook ads, some Google ads, and seeing who our target market is. Like, you know, I'll have a $500 budget for the month and see how we're doing. I'm getting to know Social Bee. I'm getting to get an account with them, doing some events, and I'm trying to, there's with the CIROS, actually someone from the office there at Merge, Samantha Firm, meeting with her and trying to look into government contracts and doing that type of thing and seeing what I can offer them. And it would be highly customizable, but the philosophy would be the same. You wake up with light.
Nice.
But I've had a lot of people tell me soldiers, they actually sleep in very small stuffed quarters. And if I were into a submarine, there is like 10 men in a tiny area on shelf. They call it a rack, and they sleep on bunk beds that are racked to the ceiling. And so if you wanted to wake up one of those personnels and not wake up everybody else, That would be something Light Awake could offer them. Also, in ships, they sleep in small quarters, and there's a lot of people in a small in a rack type of thing. You could wake up maybe 10 soldiers and not wake up the others with some light. And also, if there's a certain assignment where they don't want any sound, we can do that too. Or if there's an event, you let the soldiers sleep, but if XYZ happens, they need to wake up right away. Then that light would help them out. So yeah, so I'm getting the word out, short-term social media advertising, and I have help.
Nice. Very nice. Any other questions? If there are no other questions, I'll go ahead and ask our traditional final question. I know you covered a good chunk of this in your presentation, but our traditional final question is, what can we as the community do to help you?
Oh, well, I would like for Mr. Eric Weedle to please email me, and everybody email me, please, with suggestions and feedback, because feedback is great. Also, try it and download it and leave me some good reviews, hopefully. And the future is going to be these smart bulbs, and also the art. If you have something that you would find interesting to add in a wake-up call, that would be great. In terms of, if you know of a good audio file, or if you know of a good piece of art, let me know. We can add it in there. Or someone who would be interested in a B2B type of situation. Someone told me Farrell's could use this too, because they have clients that need to lose weight and get up and do their workouts. And, you know, if you know of anyone, let me know.
Excellent. So thank you.
I'll suggest you reach out to Jen at 9 Round in Coralville. She might be able to help you out too. She's similar to Farrell's, where people come in and do their workouts.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I've seen that. And I live in Coralville. I love Coralville. Yeah, the 9 Rounds wake up call would be something where you ring a boxing bell. Ding, ding, ding. There you go.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much. I learned a lot from this presentation, and good luck with everything. And definitely let us know if there's anything else we can do to help move this
Wonderful.
forward.